In this video, I'm going to share with you my experience and the technical side of growing an OnlyFans model to $20,000 in revenue the first 30 days of managing the account. Now, how I got this model was a little bit different than most of the advice you'll see in the OnlyFans agency space. I started running traffic services to OnlyFans models in November. I did this using Reddit and dating apps. First starting out, I would contact small creators from Reddit and subscribe to their OnlyFans profile and message them, offering them free subscribers every single day. I did this to test my promotional strategies without any loss to the creator or myself. This way I could actually learn the process before full-on diving into OnlyFans management. I started off with Tinder and Reddit. I completely failed the first month. November, I couldn't drive any traffic to anyone. And then December, I switched over to Bumble and started learning Bumble traffic. There was this particular creator I was working with, a small creator from Reddit. She was doing about $1,000 a month, who would be my main source of testing my traffic strategies. Now, around the end of December, I started to perfect the Bumble traffic system, and I was able to bring in around 5 to 10 subs to her page daily. This is something the creator was quite happy about. Being a small creator on Reddit, 10 subs daily or more is good to them. Then comes January, where I really feel like I have refined my traffic strategies. I asked the model I was working with if she had a second OnlyFans account, which she did not. And what I proposed to her is that I do a separate OnlyFans account to her where I will drive all the traffic to and manage the chatting. This way she gets to keep her current OnlyFans profile, and I would just be bringing in extra income through a second OnlyFans profile. She agreed, and we signed under a 50-50 split after marketing expenses, which would overall come to around 65-35. I know this method of finding a model, providing value for free and then signing her afterwards isn't that common, but it's what I did and it's what worked for me. And the benefit was that I actually learned a lot about driving traffic to the model before I started managing her. That way, as soon as I managed her, this is my first model, by the way, I was able to, start off strong. Throughout 30 days, I only used Bumble as my traffic source. The reason why I did this is because I perfected my Bumble system, and all I was interested in was scaling and focusing in on that acquisition channel. If I had diversed my focus to other acquisition channels such as TikTok and Reddit, I wouldn't be able to capitalize on the system that I had learned for Bumble. My piece of advice for starting OnlyFans management is to find a specific acquisition channel and focus in on it entirely, and not, diverse your focus until you have mastered that channel and have the means to outsource it. So a little bit about the details of my Bumble method. This was all done on anti-detect browsers with my laptop. Each profile would be in a different location connected to a different proxy. The funnel would be the Instagram handle in the bio, a little call to action, and the Instagram leads to a private account that has the OnlyFans link, which redirects to OnlyFans. Very simple process of getting as much matches as you can and redirecting as many people as you can to the OnlyFans page through your funnel. Now, the exact specifics of this, I'm not going to dive into completely. There are some fine-tuned things that took me a while to learn. It took me about, I'd say, a couple weeks to a month to actually fully perfect the system and become consistent with it. And by perfect, I mean, I'm talking like more than 50 subs a day. This occurred while I was managing the model, where I had a feeling that I had actually perfected the system. So the first week started on January 9th. And the first day, what I did was ask the model for content for wall posts, which she already had a lot of content already, since she already had an OnlyFans page and she was a Reddit model. So I just set up the profile and added maybe 20 to 30 wall posts. ran a little bit of traffic during the night, ended the day at $12. Second day, I started doing some more wall posts from the model and also getting content to sell for PPV, just setting up the OnlyFans profile since this is a new account. I also did a little bit of chatting on it as well and made $80 on my second day. The rest of the week was driving traffic through Bumble and chatting with the guys who came onto the account. I hated this part. I hate chatting. I just don't like talking to other dudes in a sexual manner. It's not very appealing to me, and I'm quite bad at it. Like, I really have low sales skills. What I also did, which is pretty important, was I joined like for like groups with other creators. And what this means is you'll go on their page, like all their posts, and they'll go on your page and like all your posts as well. The reason why you want to do this is because it just gives you a little bit of social proof on your OnlyFans profile page, which isn't that important, but OnlyFans pages that have, 10 likes are just a little bit sketchier and might hurt your conversion rate than 1,000 likes. So I did that throughout the week until I built around 1,000 likes. I tested different subscription prices throughout the week. I tried $3, $5, and $9 to see which ones would be the most profitable. By the end of the week, I think I decided to leave it at $3 for now until I build up a larger audience and then decide if I would want to increase that price in the future. So ending the week came out to $1,375. As you can see, my chatting to subscription ratio is pretty bad, in my opinion, mainly just because I suck at chatting. So in the second week is where I start to focus more on the chatting side of things for the account, because I know this is an area that I'm lacking in. The first couple of days of the second week, I try to up my chatting game. I was still bringing in a lot of traffic from Bumble. This is a consistent Bumble traffic source I have. I just couldn't handle the chatting anymore. So I immediately started looking for ways to outsource my chatting. At first, I was going to hire and train a chatter. Then I realized I didn't want to go through that process. So what I did was, in a Telegram group, I was redirected to a guy who had a chatting agency, and they would take 20% net of messages in exchange for 24/7 chatting. I thought this was completely fair because it was so easy to set up. They just came on the account and started chatting right away. And that just took like a huge burden off my shoulders because I really could not handle the chatting. Again, I fucking suck. I'm not that, spicy, I guess. I also didn't want to, as I thought about it, really waste my time. Not waste my time, but devote my time to hiring, finding, and training chatters and setting up scripts and a lot of time that would be deviated away from driving traffic into my model, which is why I went the route with the chatting agency, and it was fast to set up and I could right away start driving traffic again. And this worked really well. On day 13, I made my first $1,000 day with the account, came to $1,130. This was the combination of just devoting all my time to Bumble traffic and having the chatters do the rest. With that being said, with the adjustments I made, at week 2, the total revenue was $4,195. Now in week 3, every single night I'm devoting my time to running Bumble. There's a lot of bans occurring and bio deletions, things that you have to be very attentive towards. Otherwise, you won't run your profiles as optimally. This is also a strategy that can be scaled since it's all virtual, all through anti-detect browsers. So in this week, the first day, I started looking for virtual assistants. I was redirected to one virtual assistant who was local to me. And then I started training her on my Bumble traffic system using anti-detect browsers. I gave her the tasks of account creations and swiping, automating swiping, and moderation for account bans, such and such. It took a couple days for her to fully understand the system, but by this week, I had her swiping at the same time. Now, this was a combination of her running Bumble profiles, her creating the profiles as well, which took a lot of time out of my hands and me swiping at the same time. So I'm basically doubling my traffic in by having this VA. The reason why I didn't do more is because you just need to have this virtual assistant fully understand the system. It's not something that's extremely easy, and this was all I could handle on my plate at the moment. Now in this week, I realized the only focus I should really have that will provide me the most amount of revenue is traffic in. This is why I hired the virtual assistant to generate more traffic in with the system that I already built. The chatters take care of the rest. I don't have to focus on that. I don't even need that much content from the model since she already had an OnlyFans, so she already has a lot of existing content that I used. I don't have to have her make TikToks or take new poses. My entire focus throughout these 30 days was traffic in. And by this week, I realized the only thing that's going to make me more money is devoting more time to traffic in. That being said, week 3, I ended at $6,788 in revenue. Week 4 was just a breeze. This was everything I cultivated so far. I already had the chatters. My VA is fully trained. She basically automates the whole service for me, including account creation, the whole Bumble setup. I also worked on swiping as well, just because the more swipe power you have, the more traffic you get in, at least with this system that I built. So it was really a breeze this entire week, just working with my VA and only focusing on traffic in. That was my entire focus. Chatters were already taken care of. Again, this was a chatting agency, so I didn't have to pay any attention on managing them. It was just me and my VA who I was working with, who basically took most of the load of the work. This week was a little bit longer to make the full 30 days, and the total profit came to $7,563. So that being said, within the 30 days, how much did I make? Total revenue was $19,923. Of that, I took a 65% cut, which comes to $12,949. Now for the marketing expenses, which all came from my pocket. Messaging totaled at $2,594. Proxies came out to $1,000. Anti-detect browsers, I used both Lollycat and Dolphin for various reasons. I was having trouble with Lollycat, so I switched over to Dolphin. This totaled me at $340. Bumble Premium, this totaled me at $260 across all the accounts. Virtual Assistant costed me $220 for the entire time I used her within these 30 days. Virtual phone numbers that I used to create the Bumble accounts totaled me at $220. Parallels Desktop, $130 to use Windows on my Mac, which brings me to a net profit of $8,185. What I learned from these 30 days is that OnlyFans management is largely based off how well you can drive traffic to the model. Your focus shouldn't be on building an OnlyFans agency, Instagram. Your only focus should be your skill in driving traffic to a model. It doesn't even have to be a model you're managing. Your only focus should be you and your promotional skills, because at the end of the day, that is the main value you provide to the model. Final thoughts. Was a lot of hard work to get here. My first 2 months in the OnlyFans space, I didn't make any profit. As a matter of fact, I was at a loss, but this was all made up through my first 30 days of managing this model. The reason why I was so successful is because I actually took the time to learn how to provide value to the model before signing her. There is a lot of fluff on YouTube. I've watched all the OnlyFans agency YouTube content, and to be honest, very few of the content you will see out there will be beneficial to you. People really need to stop, comparing this to SMMA and making the comparison of signing the client is like the main focus of OnlyFans management, because it's not. You sign the client and you're at $0. Your only focus should be driving traffic to the model and learning how to do this. With my YouTube, my goal is to help you guys, actually build an OnlyFans management agency like I have, and I'm going to take you through my journey continuing forward. I'm going to be learning more sources of traffic now that I have, fully dialed in my Bumble traffic system. This is just because I need to future proof myself. These are black hat methods, they do get patched. Just recently, I ran into some issues with Bumble, so I'm excited for what's to come. I will be providing a lot of nice content on this YouTube channel. So, yeah, that's it.